My name's Chris Grove, and in about an hour I'll be giving a talk on cross-platform mobile application development. We'll be talking about how to ask the right questions and how to make the right decisions to ensure that your cross-platform application will be a success. It's not primarily a technical discussion, it's a discussion on strategy and tactics, on how to approach the problem, how to ask the right questions, how to make the right decisions. So anyone who's faced with a decision, whether for their own project or for a client, of whether or not to go cross-platform for your mobile app, and if you do decide, how do you approach it? Those are the people we're trying to get to. Today is not going to be primarily a technical discussion. We will touch on some technical issues, but really what we're talking about today is strategies. Knowing going in, thinking, okay, maybe I need to do some cross-platform mobile application development. So where do you start? That can be a difficult thing to address. So what we're going to talk about today is trying to figure out which questions you need to ask and how you need to approach finding those answers so you can make the right decision. It doesn't matter whether this is something you're writing for yourself or something you're writing for a client. Either way, market share is where it's going to be, and if you can find a way to leverage all of those different platform markets, you're going to be in a much stronger position. Again, this is a very rapidly evolving landscape. That's one of the reasons why you can't just look for an answer and then run with that. Because I could give you the answer and it might be right for today, but it might not be quite as right tomorrow. 6 months from now, it'll probably be less right. And 2 years from now, it'll be unrecognizable and people won't even remember the platform you were talking about. And we're going to talk about some alternatives. I think it's important to think outside of the box sometimes. Not everybody has a smartphone. The very first and most important decision that you can have, is it worth it? Now, that sounds trite, but it is the most important decision you can make. To draw the aviation analogy again, they always tell you that. The most important decision is the go, no-go decision. If you decide to get into the air, you better be darn sure that you are going to be able to get down again. Or to put it differently, they say takeoffs are optional, but landings are mandatory. A staged approach is often useful here. It is useful to think up front in terms of we might want to make this a cross-platform app later, and that can guide you to making the decisions that won't lock you into that platform. And you can maybe write it kind of carefully to make sure that you're not doing anything that would make it difficult to port to another platform later. But that can be, the fact is that one platform will probably account for most of your sales. If platform A is going to get you a certain number of sales and platform B is going to get you 20% of those sales, which would not be that untypical, well, it's going to take just as long to develop, at least, for that second platform. So you got to really weigh and make sure that you're going to get a return on that. That if you double the amount of time you're spending developing this application, you want to make sure that you're going to get better than that 20% return, or that at least that return is still going to be made it worth the effort if you got enough market share for that. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from doing cross-platform development. It's just a matter of being aware, going in with your eyes open, and making sure you account for these things. Make the right decisions.